All right, friends, welcome to the 2025, I can't believe I just said that out loud, 2025. X Games Salt Lake City 2025. This is the 30th anniversary of X Games. Please feel free to make some noise, it's okay. It's kind of a big deal. My name is Salema Masekela. It is my pleasure to be hosting this X Games. My background at X Games goes back to before some of the people on this panel were born. I said that out loud as well. My first X Games was in 1999 in Crested Butte, Colorado. I was standing on the vert ramp when Tony Hawk did the 900 in San Francisco. That was my first summer X Games. And what a ride it has been to watch the global explosion of really the greatest stage for competition and progress of action sports in the world, that is X Games. Of course, it all began in 1995 when Ron Simeo had the brilliant idea of the extreme games, and then we quickly learned that the word extreme might be a little strong for what was going on, so we shortened it down to X, and here we are. It is really exciting to be here in Salt Lake City, like just to see the excitement in the town for how fired up that people are to have X here. Of course, action sports and Salt Lake City go hand in hand. This is one of the hotbeds of action sports culture, skateboarding, as well as motocross, and of course snowboarding and skiing. Salt Lake City it's a perfect place, perfect venue to have X Games. So we are hyped. But enough about me. I'm going to introduce all the rad people to my left. First off is the CEO of X Games, Mr. Jeremy Bloom, who, besides being the CEO, also happens to be a two-time Olympian, world champion, and 10-time World Cup gold medalist in freestyle skiing, as well as a former NFL player, as a punt returner. He was inducted into the National Ski Hall of Fame in 2013, and after building a successful tech career, Jeremy said, why don't I go and see what I can do at this little thing called the X Games, where he has been since late last year. He'll be talking to you about some of the things he's excited about as far as AI in these sports, but he is Jeremy Bloom. Next to him, I've had the privilege of knowing this young man since he was probably about 11 years old, maybe 10, 11 when I first met Naja Houston. Long, flowing dreadlocks. We both had dreadlocks at the time. I had a full ass head of hair when I met Naja, but to be able to see his growth in being a child phenom in skateboarding, which is a very, very hard landscape to navigate, let alone one to be able to maintain longevity and excellence when you have a target on your back and you're seen as a young star. What Naja Houston has managed to do to progress skateboarding and to perform and grow and be an ambassador for this sport has been truly incredible. A 15-time X Games gold medalist with 24 total medals. A fixture at X Games since he was a teen, obviously representing Team USA as a two-time Olympian, getting a bronze at the Paris Games. Yeah, he is the one and only Naja Houston. To his left is a modern-day powerhouse by the name of Arisa Tru. Skateboard park and vert in the women's field, they're basically, it's her show and then everyone else is around her. Incredible style, the amount of progression that this young woman has at such a young age has been incredible to watch. I mean, I remember the first time that I saw Arisa do a switch McTwist and I was like, what in the world did I just witness? And she just smiled casually after she'd done it. Obviously, the 900 as well. She has been truly, truly dominant. In just 2 years since her X Games debut, she has earned 5 medals, all of them gold. Her dominance continued, claiming an Olympic gold at Paris, making her one of the most exciting and decorated young athletes, men or women, in skateboarding. Arisa Tru. Is that good? Did I do good? Yeah, right, that's me. Next up, another country person of hers from the beautiful island way off to the far, Ryan Williams, our Willie, also from Australia, a multi-talented force across BMX, Dirt Best Trick, Mega Park Big Air, and Park Best Trick. Basically, if it has wheels, I believe that Ryan Williams can ride it. Presently, he is just being dominant in BMX Dirt. 8 X Games gold medals, 10 total podium finishes. In my opinion, Ryan Williams is the Travis Pastrana of BMX. He's about as contagious a human being as you can have in the sport. You don't need to know anything about BMX. When you watch this guy, you're just like, I want what he's having. And he is an incredible ambassador for BMX and for X Games. And he just became a new dad last December, so he's competing at X Games for the first time as a father. So as if he wasn't already fired up already, look out everyone else. Next to him is the Raha, Colby Raha, a standout in Moto X quarterpipe high air, a 12-time X Games medalist across the quarterpipe, real moto, and step up. This dude is fearless, has a bunch of flair, and is not a square in any way, shape, or form. If you don't follow Colby Raha on the socials, on IG, you're missing out. It's one thing to watch him in competition, but to open up your phone and see just what he might be getting into with his dirt bike in his regular life is a beautiful thing. Yeah, he's one of my favorite people to watch compete at X Games. In 2023, he got gold in Ventura, followed that up with a strong second place in 2024, and Raha is hungry to try and reclaim gold here at X Games, and also embracing that new dad life, Colby Raha. When I walked into the building and I saw Geek Curry, I got sad because he was not taller than me last year, and now he's looking down on me, and it hurts my feelings. Geek Curry coming in hot from X Games Osaka, winning back-to-back gold medals in vert and best trick. The kickflip barrel 900 looks like a backside air for him at this point. This dude is just 16 years old and has officially set a new record for X Games. Most X Games gold medals by a teenage human being. We are in the midst of the Geek Curry era, and it is wonderful to watch. With that, I'm going to hand it off, before we get into questions, I'm going to hand it off to our CEO, Jeremy Bloom, for some opening statements.
Thank you, Salema. Appreciate you being here as always. I want to say thank you to the Salt Lake City community. You guys have shown up for us in a huge way. You've treated us like the Super Bowl coming to town, from the mayor's office to the police, the fire department. We appreciate you. And we've never been to Salt Lake before in our 30-year history. It's the first time ever here. It's a really incredible and unique opportunity for this community to see the world's best athletes for the first time ever at X Games in Salt Lake City. We've sold over 30,000 tickets, so the excitement is at an all-time high here. We expect over 10,000 fans per day. It'll be hot, so bring your sunscreen, and these athletes will make it even hotter. We have Sublime on Saturday night. It's almost sold out. Just a couple hundred tickets remain. And we have Deadmau5 playing on Friday night as well. Club 95, our VIP passes are sold out. Thank you for that. And I want to announce a promo in appreciation for this community. On Sunday, if you are a student and you bring your student ID, or if you're a first responder in the community, you get in for free. The first 500 people. So be there early. forward to seeing you here. This is our 30th year anniversary, so it's double iconic. Some legends that you probably have heard of are coming back. Tony Hawk will be here. Travis Pastrana is coming back. TJ Lavin will be here. And a bunch of other legends, including the return of Ryan Sheckler. After an 8-year competition hiatus, he's coming back to X Games to compete. We can't wait to see Ryan do his thing. I also want to say, give a shout out and thank you to 11 iconic brands who are showing up huge for these world's best athletes. Everyone from Sonic, our title sponsor, to Rivian, one of the most innovative car companies on the planet, to 805, one of the sickest brands in action sports, and Activision, Tony Hawk's video game. Good integration there. So thank you to those great partners. We are on TV, everybody. Your community will be on TV, prime time, 15 hours, ESPN and ABC live on national television. Salt Lake will be the center of the universe this weekend, watching these incredible athletes do their thing. Sports Center is coming back. They will be in Salt Lake. They've been at X Games for several years. They're coming back, and they can't wait to cover these awesome moments. Pat McAfee, you ever heard of him? Huge audience, one of the biggest audiences in all sports. Travis Pastrana will be on Pat McAfee today talking about X Games 30th. And the Deacon family will be on the morning show, Sports Center as well. So we have a lot of promos happening across the land as we promote this incredible event. Salemba said some great things about these athletes. I want to add a couple more. This guy's a legend, Naja Houston, one of the biggest names in all of sports, let alone action sports, a guy that has transcended skateboarding. Arisa Tru, you are looking at the future of action sports. You are looking at the next Tony Hawk. She just happens to wear pink and rib. But she's got an opportunity here to win more X Games gold medals than any female in history. In history. And how old are you? She's 15, everybody. So this is a story that people have to be here to witness this type of history. Ryan Williams, our Willie, this guy has landed over 100 first-time tricks. 100 first-time ever tricks. And word on the street, not to put pressure over here, he might try the world's first triple backflip on the dirt big air competition. So look out for that. That would be totally sick. Let's go. Colby Raha just coming after, last week he just broke another world record, the longest jump on a moto to over 200 feet to flatland. Unbelievably iconic athlete. It's going to go huge here. And Geek Curry, you are looking at the future of men's vert skateboarding right there. This kid is insane when you see what he can do on the vert ramp. Coming out of Brazil, taking over the world double gold in Osaka. This kid has won more X Games medals than anybody in history at his age. There are incredible storytelling opportunities here, and to the media, we welcome you to lean into these athletes, tell their stories on a national stage as we build this brand bigger than it's ever been before, because all we need are these athletes, and we have these stories. So thank you for covering it, thank you for being here, and can't wait for this weekend to get kicked off.
What are you most fired up for this weekend?
I just can't wait to see what these athletes do. I have such respect. I've sat in their shoes in different ways. As an aspiring Olympic skier, as the smallest kid on a football field, and trying to make it to the NFL, and ultimately being drafted. And I know the struggle. I know the fight. I know the sacrifice. And they all represent the top 1%. But behind all of them, there are athletes who care just as much, who are fighting to pay their bills. Who are fighting for sponsorships, who are working second and third jobs just to be here. And so we celebrate all of these athletes and all of these iconic moments that are going to happen here in Salt Lake.
You also had a rather large announcement yesterday in the scope of technology to help enhance the way we are able to look at X Games. Talk about it.
My deep love and appreciation for athletes. You never want to see a human being get it wrong for them. You've got to be 100%, not 99%. I'm talking referees, I'm talking judges, and we've all seen moments, big moments in sports, where humans sometimes get it wrong. I think about the 2019 NFC Championship game with the Saints and the LA Rams. There was a bad call at the end of the game. It wasn't pass interference. Everybody accepted. Even the NFL said it. Saints didn't go to the Super Bowl. And when you subjective judge sports, there's new technology. Maybe you've heard of it called AI. And there's new use cases, new ways to use and leverage this technology to make sure that these athletes, that humans never get it wrong. And you take the subjective nature out of these sports and you make it objective. And so we launched a new company called Owl AI. We raised $11 million from some of the best venture capitalists in the world. You're going to see it all over our broadcasts in different ways here at Summer X Games. And the company is obviously in conversations with lots of other sports leagues to integrate this technology in other interesting ways. But it was built and created for these athletes and for these teams to make sure that we never get it wrong. Got to get it right 100% of the time.
Right on. Naja Houston, when you first started coming up in X Games, you were very much you were the youngest person in the field. Everyone was excited about you, and you were putting pressure on the vets. Now you're that dude, and there is a whole younger field that are looking at you in the way that you used to look at them. What is it like for you over this journey now to be in this sort of target on your back position?
Yeah, man, it's so sick to still be out here with all the young guys and the young girls out there ripping. I mean, the fact that I skated my first X Games when I was 11, I think is still one of the craziest things to think I did in my career. Because especially at that time, it wasn't as normal to see so many young kids skating so good. But it was definitely intimidating. It definitely helped me grow up fast. But I was hungry, and I think the best part about the whole journey is to still be hungry these days, and to still be feeling healthy. Because I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen some of the falls I've taken, so sometimes it's a little hard to believe.
Yeah, what you've done not only as a competitor, but the fact that you continue to want to push yourself in the streets with iconic video parts, the toll that it's taken on your body has been a lot. What has caused you to decide that you want to continue to work as hard as you do to still compete, especially with what you've been through physically in the last few years?
Yeah, I'm a little roughed up from the streets right now, I'm not gonna lie. I've been going in lately, filming for video parts coming up soon. We got a Disorder video launching on Thrasher in the next couple weeks. But it's really just a love for skateboarding, it's even after I'm not competing at a winning level anymore, I'm still gonna be out there on my board for as long as humanly possible. And that's my main goal at this point, is to keep it going. I wanna be 60, 70 grand in rows.
You do have the opportunity, if you were to win 2 golds this weekend, to be the most medaled athlete. Do you think about that at all in the back of your mind, about the stats going in? And if you were able to achieve that, what would that mean to you? I mean,
yeah, it would definitely mean a lot. Last time in Ventura, I was able to get the double gold. The crew out there this time is pretty stacked, so it definitely will not be easy, but any gold or even a podium at this point, I really don't take it for granted, because I know moments like that won't last forever. And when it comes down to it, I just got to be proud of myself for still being out there at a winning level.
Well, we are grateful that you continue to show up, man, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Arisa, it wasn't long ago, I remember having a conversation with you and asking you what you were going to do after your gold medal. I think it was 2 years ago, and you kind of looked at me blankly, and then you were like, I think I'm going to go and buy a bunch of lollies, which is candy. And I just thought, that's so cool that winning a gold medal just makes you excited about candy. Here we are 2 years later, and you have accomplished so much in these last couple of years. When you look back and you're only 15, what has this last couple of years been like for you?
Well, like, I just love skating, so when I look back, I just can see, like, my progression, and I just, like, want to push myself to just keep getting better and keep competing and just pushing the level of skateboarding, because, like, if somebody's progressing, it just, like, helps the whole sport progress.
Is there someone that sort of inspired you to take that attitude, to just want to continue to progress?
Well, just, like, I think when one girl I see, like, does something crazy, or even, like, a boy, just anyone in skateboarding, it just, like, inspires me to, like, want to push harder and just keep learning crazy tricks.
One of my favorite things in watching, not just you, but all of the women in the field is the way that you celebrate each other. You're competing against each other, but there is a celebration that you have amongst each other during an event that is contagious. What is that like? To be up there and know that as much as they're competing against you, they are also cheering for you.
It's really fun competing with all the girls because I've been competing with them for a few years now and we're all best friends, but we are really competitive with each other, but at the same time, we always have fun skating with each other and have a good time, so I just love skating with them all.
That's awesome. You are only 15, which means, like, yes, you love skateboarding more than anything, but you have to be into some other things for fun. What does Arisa Tru get into when the camera's not rolling and she's not on her skateboard?
Well, most of the time I'm skating, otherwise I'll just be with my friends making TikToks.
Yeah. Dance videos?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe you could teach some old people some TikTok dances before this is over. Good luck to you this week, Arisa.
Thank you.
Mr. Williams, last year you literally announced that you were having a child live on television to the world, and told us that your fiance was expecting. Did you get any blowback at home, or was the missus all right with you going that public?
Yeah, I was definitely in the doghouse for a bit, but she didn't mind. It was probably the best time to announce it. Yeah, nah, she was alright. And then, yeah, he's definitely the best trick I've ever landed, so stay
Well played. Happy belated first Father's Day to you. And what is it like now coming in to this X Games as a father? We've seen in years past, I've always said the most dangerous energy is new dad energy at X Games. Different kind of focus.
I feel like I actually haven't lost a contest since becoming a dad too, so I was actually a little bit worried about how it was going to affect my mindset because, you know, you don't want to, if you break your arm, like, it sucks when you don't have a son, but then if you break your arm and you have a son, you can't, like, play with him, you can't hold him the same, so I was like, man, am I going to think like that? Am I going to be up the top of the roll and about to drop in and think about not being able to do something with my son because I hurt myself? But it just honestly made me more calculated. I've been calculated my whole career, I've never had one surgery in my life, so it kind of just heightened that sense of like, okay, what are you doing, what do you need to do, and just calculating what I am about to drop in to do, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's been better. I've been a better rider since becoming a father, so I don't know if it's, yeah, I don't know, it's dad power. Dad strength is real.
Let's go. You famously said that in Ultimate X, the X Games documentary, the IMAX one, that came out in 2001, that you watched that as a kid like 100 times and was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Now you're here.
That's why I knew you before I met you, because I watched that movie so many times. That's why I felt like when I first came to X Games, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I watched 1,000 times at home on the Ultimate X DVD, and then it's kind of what inspired me to get into the X Games, and then all of a sudden I won a gold medal, and it's so surreal, and it's still so surreal because you almost feel like I've got 9 golds now, but every single time you do it, you're like, holy, how did I do this? It's like the same as the first time. So yeah, it's a crazy feeling being a part of something that I was growing up with, and I was like, this is the greatest movie ever. Now I'm a part of the greatest movie ever. So it's kind of a trip.
You have an opportunity as an athlete to debut new tricks in lots of different places. There are some people who can argue that like doing a new trick on social and getting people fired up for it can perhaps be the biggest thing. But you still choose to save NBDs, never been done before, for Summer X Games. You've got a couple in your pocket as we speak. Why is it that you continue to save these big tricks, these big accomplishments for the stage at X Games?
Oh, I'll tell you a secret, because I want to win. No, it's because I'm competitive, you know, and it's like the most important place to perform your best tricks. I feel like we come around and X Games only happens maybe once or twice a year. I hope it starts to happen more, but you basically know that it's all about capitalizing on opportunities. So my whole career was always just capitalizing on the opportunity that came in front of me. So I got the opportunity to do Nitro Circus, and I did the world's first, my first show on Nitro Circus, and that literally propelled me into where I am today. Without that moment and landing that trick in that moment, I probably would not be sitting here today, or I would have found a different path. But I feel like X Games is that spotlight where you have the limelight on you. Everyone's watching you. Sports Center's watching you. Everyone's tuning into X Games, you know. They're watching, and if you can pull something that's never before been done, everyone that's watching that is a part of that history. They can go to their friends. I watched that happen. If I led a triple flip this weekend, I watched the first ever triple backflip in contest live, and forever they can say that they got to watch that moment. So I feel like X Games produces that spotlight, and then the athletes just have to perform it, which is kind of hard, but that's what we prepared for all year, and that's why we save the tricks for X Games.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you. I would love to see the triple back, as well as the double back fakie. No pressure. Colby Raha, hello, sir. First of all, what's it like to come into X Games, coming off of a never been done world record, longest jump ever to flat?
Yeah, so just last week we put that together at the Palm Springs Surf Club. I was able to go over 23 BMWs to flat, and that to me was a priority at the moment. I kind of just put X Games on the back burner for a little bit to make sure I got through that safely. And luckily we pulled it off. The bike held up, my body held up. It was really gnarly. And as soon as I landed, there was no time to celebrate. It was straight to go to bed, wake up, and straight to quarter pipe practice. With the changing of the rule of the no electric bikes this year, it kind of threw me off because I was like a late notice. I wasn't prepared. So I quickly got a 450 built, and I just got the bike, I think like 14 days ago. So just short notice, and you know, I've ridden quarter pipe a lot, so it wasn't completely stressful with that amount of time, but the in-run's shorter this year. It's 75 foot, so it actually adds a lot of technicality and skill. You gotta be able to not wheelie off the start or spin the tire, and you gotta set up and get it full throttle in a short amount of time. So it's just hectic, but that's the way, you know, we like to do it, and you know, I'm honored to have that record. That record hadn't been broken in over 50 years. It's really gnarly, and then coming straight into here, this feels almost like low stress compared to that. So yeah, just keeping it rolling, try to win, and you know, use the momentum.
I love that the idea of being 70 feet above the ground on the quarter pipe feels like low stress to you.
Yeah, that's crazy to think too. You know, the quarter pipe is such a cool event. I'm grateful to be a part of it because it's probably one of the gnarly ones. I think all of these events are gnarly, and the level is so high, and I have so much respect for everybody that is winning and doing well because the level is just it's out of control. I can't even believe the stuff I'm watching. But our quarter pipe is pretty straightforward. We just go as high as we can and come down, and yeah, the heights are nuts, but I guess we're getting comfortable with that. But I know the other guys really want to win, so I think this one's going to come down to who's ready to push each other and outdo each other. And you know, every year I get fired up, I'm competitive, and I want to win, and I just turn the care switch off and just go for it and see what happens. And I'm healthy this year too, so it's the first year I haven't had a lingering injury. Like last year was a knee ACL, the year before was a shoulder injury, and now I'm actually healthy, so I'm fired up and ready to go.
We are at 4,200 feet or so and change here, elevation-wise. How does that affect the power band for the bike, as far as being able to get power to get into the air? There are some challenges with elevation as well as the heat?
Yeah, it's a good thing to bring up. I feel like a lot of people miss the mechanicals. They're very important on a dirt bike for what we do, especially quarter pipe, because it does come down to a lot of horsepower, and you know, the altitude, there's less oxygen, so the motor's going to run with less horsepower, which means you're going to have to send it that much harder and give it full throttle that much earlier in order to win, I think. But we're all at a disadvantage, and I have a really good team around me with the right bike setup. We're pretty good at that, so I think we got a good bike, as well as some of the other guys too. I know they got good bikes, so I think it just comes down to the rider at this one.
Yeah, we heard Ryan describe what it's like for him now as a new father. What's it like for you, especially for the manner in which you're putting your body on the line, but also with this joy of parenthood in the mix?
Yeah, I think Ryan summed it up pretty well. It's amazing. It's undescribable. You know, we're so busy doing what we do, but it feels like Christmas every morning, waking up and seeing my little guy running around, and he's just a year and a half old now, but I swear I haven't like told him, I haven't been putting him on bikes or anything, but all he wants to do is ride a bike. He's just gravitating towards it. He wants to, every morning, first thing he says, bike, bike, bike. So he wants to go ride around on my dirt bike and stuff, and it's undescribable. I love it. I love being a father, and you know, it's really inspired me to a whole new level, to where I just want to get everything together and be the best I know I can be. And I'm more focused and more healthy and more, you know, organized on everything right now. And you know, we just did the record last week, X Games this Sunday, and then straight to Sturgis. I'm jumping a Harley 200 foot for the furthest ever Harley Davidson world record at the Sturgis Rally. And then right after that, we're going right back into, I have a video part I haven't even had time to even talk about, but I backflipped over a moving train. I did the biggest backflip in Caneville, and a bunch of other things that I'm really proud of. Filmed with Ty Evans at a helicopter shoot at my property, and did some, you know, things that I'm really proud of in that video. So that's dropping mid-July, and yeah, I'm just, you know, everything's going really well, and I'm fired up. I think a lot of that is just to, you know, having my son and putting everything together, and my wife moving to California, and you know, it's inspiring.
Awesome, man. Congratulations. I feel like maybe you might have to throw Naja in the mix for your video part, because we see Naja getting loose on the dirt bike as well.
Any of these guys would be great, you know?
Yeah, I'll rip some wheelies, maybe. A couple little jumps. I'm not jumping over any trains, but.
I know Naja can moto. I've seen him. He motos. It's rad. And yeah, and hanging out with any of these guys, top level athletes, I have the most respect for all these guys. I love watching them all compete. And yeah, they're all welcome to be part of anything I got going on.
That's awesome. Geek! To the bank. I mean, yeah, you just won 2 back-to-back gold medals in Osaka. Total bank.
Yeah, everything, man, feels like a dream. Yeah.
How does last week's performance, where you were just in a super zone, affect your mindset now coming into Salt Lake City?
It's hard. Yeah, jet lag got the best of me for this week, but I'm getting used to it. But we're here for X Games, and it's just really special to me, and it's always, I'm always honored to be here. Yeah.
Your progress, similar to Arisa's in the last couple of years, has just been incredible to watch. I've been around skateboarding for a very, very long time. What usually takes athletes 5-6 years to progress to, you're doing in a very short period of time. Explain a little bit of what your training looks like, and how you're able to build such consistency with tricks 5 minutes ago that you think, oh, well, that's a big deal if you land that once, and now it's just in your pocket.
Yeah, I train every day for, I do 2 hours of skating and physio at night and going to the gym 5 times a week. And it's hard, but we make it happen, and I just gotta be really focused on what I want to do. So, yeah.
It seems like now, like the same as before I was saying with Naja, they used to pat you on the back and be like, oh, there's Gee's here. But now Gee's winning and taking everyone's money out of their children's pockets. What's it like now to have the rivalries and to know that like guys like Moto and others are looking at you like, yeah, we're friends, but I'm here to take you out, young man.
It's really cool. Since my first X Games, I've always looked up to them. Moto and Tom, Clay, all those guys, yeah. And yeah, there's some sort of rivalry, but at the end of the day, we're cool with everybody, and yeah.
All right, that was a way to keep it even. Elevation on the vert ramp. How does it affect you as far as pumping is concerned, going bigger when you find yourself skating at elevation?
It's hard, yeah. And now that I'm getting bigger as well, yeah, it's easier to get speed, but it's way harder to spin, yeah.
It's harder to spin.
Yeah, it's way harder. I think spinning is, if you can spin at a very young age, you can kind of keep going. Like, it's hard, yeah, but it's crazy because I can still like do a 5 on a mini ramp being like 5'10", yeah.
I'm just gonna give you 6 feet, bro. I think you're past 5'10".
I think I'm like 5'9", 5'10", yeah.
That means I'm much shorter than I've been saying on my license. Thank you all for answering my questions. I would love to open it up to the general field for some questions before we send these athletes off to practice. Sweet. I guess we nailed it. Kristen B.
I've got a question for Colby Raha. Colby, I know recently there have been a technical arms race in the quarter pipe competition. Every year the bikes are getting lighter and lighter, better and better. And with going into this season a little behind the 8 ball, have you been able to advance the bike to where you were at least at in 2023?
You're asking me, is my bike as good as it was in 2023? Yeah, so on short notice, luckily I've got good connections and a good team of guys. So I brought in the same mechanic that built my bike, Andrew Bauer, from 2023, 22, and 21. And I won 22, 23, and 24, or no, it was, yeah, so it was 21, 22, and 23 all in a row. Now it's all the same mechanic at Factory Husqvarna. He doesn't work at Factory Husqvarna anymore, he's freelance, but we were able to pull strings and get a few factory parts from Husqvarna, and I think my bike's right there with it. I mean, it might not be as good, but I'm kind of not stressing on the bike setup as much. I feel like if you just go in faster, hit the ramp harder, and just be a beast about it, I think you could pull it off. And I really like this new short in-run thing, just because I'm curious to see how it works out. Before you just go as fast as you want and hit the ramp. It's not a whole lot of technicality, it's really just a lot of impact and like body strength to pull the G-forces of the takeoff. But now it's like, you gotta know how to do a practice start, slip the clutch, lean forward, not wheelie, get a handful of throttle, and then point and aim where you're going. It's pretty cool how fast you have to get it together before you hit the ramp. And I think it might weed out some of the riders, and you know, I'm just gonna have fun with it, do the best I can, and see how we end up. But yeah, my bike's solid.
A technical send.
I've got one for Arisa. So Salema asked you about the camaraderie among a lot of the female skateboarders, and it's been so cool to see just the explosion of women's sports in the last few years. In particular, the Olympics was a really massive spotlight for a lot of women in sports. How do you feel like women's skateboarding is progressing and you guys are owning that spotlight as we celebrate 30 years of X Games, knowing everybody's locked in now and they're excited to see the way that you progress? Just how are you owning the space that you're in right now?
Well, I think like it's definitely like influencing a lot more people to skate, because like there's been a lot more attention with women skateboarding, and especially with vert being back at X Games, that's got a lot of attention, and a lot more girls starting to skate vert, which is really cool because it just like brings the progression up and it just makes it super fun because like it's just fun skating with all the girls.
Just to build on that, at X Games we brought women's vert back in Osaka, and we want to put it in prime time. So this is not this is nothing other than a prime time sport for us as we build for the future. Women's vert is on ABC on a prime time window where they belong.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for coming out. These athletes are going to get to practice. We're going to take one.